Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Project E46. In today's episode, I'm going to be installing this beautiful bucket seat. Obviously, when you're on the racetrack, the problem with most stock seats is that they can't hold you in place when you're going around corners. You tend to slide around all over the place. Having a nice aftermarket bucket seat holds you in place so you can focus on driving. To that end, I picked up this used Sparco Sprint seat for $50 whole. And today I'm going to be showing you the DIY process of how to installing a seat in an E46 sedan. I ran into a few snags along the way, but I got it figured out in the end, so enjoy the show. So, step one of installing a bucket seat is obviously to remove the stock seat. So I believe all we're going to need is a 16mm socket and maybe a 16mm wrench if we can't reach some of the bolts. So because I have an electric power seat, not a manual seat, I do need to leave the battery plugged in for now just to move the seat around, kind of access the bolts. So slide the seat back, you can see the front two bolts, they have little like plastic caps covering them. Pop them off. Alright, let's see if we can break these loose. I'm going to fast forward this because I'm sure it's very boring to watch. So the other two nuts in the front, looks like two bolts in the back. They're way behind the seat here. So the seat needs to go further forward, probably all the way forward to reach these. In case you couldn't tell, it's very hot and very sunny in Long Beach. Look at the sweat. So there is an anchor for the seat belt. I need to figure out how to reach that. Let's try tipping the seat maybe. All right. While I'm thinking about it, now that we've loosened all the bolts that hold the seat to the car, I want to unplug the battery just so we don't run into any airbag error lights or possibly even setting off an airbag when you pull the seat out. So, batteries in the trunk like most BMWs. Here's my paranoia with batteries in the trunk. I always cover the trunk latch so the trunk can't get closed, can't get locked out of the battery. This car does not have a ski pass-through, so if this gets closed and, like, God forbid I couldn't find a keyhole or anything like that, I would be screwed. Call it paranoia, call it whatever you want, but that's kind of my thing. So let's take out the battery. Third terminal taped up and covered so it won't make any contact. Let's go unplug remove the seatbelt anchor and pull the seat out. Alright, so after messing around with it for a little bit, I figured out the best way to actually access the seatbelt anchor bolt is to actually plug the battery back in so I can move the seat up to the highest position and reach it. And there it is, with the seat lifted all the way up, you can just see it. It's another 16mm, so let's knock that sucker out. Now, you have to be careful that the seatbelt doesn't fully retract. You kind of just want it to hang. There we go. If that seatbelt retracts all the way, you're in a load of trouble. Alright, so let's lower the seat back down and make it as short as possible. For easier removal, we'll unplug the battery and pull this sucker. Headrest down. Look how high the seat is. Lower this thing all the way down, make it as short as possible so it's easier to kind of pull out of the car. Slammed. All right, I'll unplug the battery again and pull the seat. Let's unplug. This way. That's all right. Options on this. Can't sit up. Good God, it's handy. Oh, good God. It's out. So the seat install in the E46 has been slightly derailed by a rather interesting issue. I noticed when I was trying to take out the right rear mounting bolt for the original seat that it was really stiff and didn't want to come out. Somewhere along the way, I ended up getting that bolt out and figuring out the problem. It's not in here, I can't find it. But somewhere along the way, the head of the bolt actually sticks out underneath the floor of the car, and it got a bit of weld splatter on it, which is interesting. And so that weld splatter got on the threads, so obviously when I took the bolt out, that bit of weld destroyed all the threads. So I wondered why I couldn't bolt the seat back up. So I had to go buy a tap and die kit and re-tap the threads into the floor. It seems to have gone well. I'm actually taking this out now to kind of check on my progress. So stay tuned, I'll take this out and hopefully this fixes the problem and I can get the seat installed. I was mentioning that came out of the car. As you can see, there's for some reason weld splatter right there on the threads, and this part of the thread is actually exposed in the bottom of the car, it looks like. So somehow, somewhere along the way, maybe during the assembly process or something, that some bit of extra weld splatter got on the threads, and so when that came out of here, obviously mangled all those threads. So I just took the tap out and the threads look okay. Obviously they're dirty with assembly lube and bits of metal, so I'm going to clean that out. Hopefully a new fresh bolt threads right in. Hey everybody, sorry to cut the footage there. Once I got everything prepped and ready to install the new seat, I had to stop recording because, as is the way with pretty much every bucket seat install, it was a lot of trial and error. So the Mach Schnell floor mounts are installed. The floor mount threads that I had to re-tap came out just fine. I was able to use a bolt from Home Depot and thread it right in. Then the Sparco side mounts, this one is flipped the other way to get the seat more center. And then it just bolts in to the floor mounts right there. I made 2 L brackets for the 2 points of the seat belt. You can see right here. They just bolt on beneath the floor mount right there. They're just made of steel that I bent and cut to shape. And just hold the belt in like that. The belt is routed through the pass-throughs of the seat, so it has good kind of pickup points around the hips of the driver. It just goes through there, goes through there. I was able to retain the OEM seatbelt receptacle and pre-tensioner down there, as well as the wiring. Again, I made an L bracket right here that goes out from beneath the floor mount over to here where it just bolts up. The wiring for the pre-tensioner and the occupancy sensor just slides under the floor mounts and connects down there. And so this is the final effort. The Sparco will definitely hold me in much better than the OEM seats did. Stoked. And that is it for the seat install. I apologize for not showing the time lapse of installing the seat, but I'll save you the time. It was just hours of trial and error. But eventually I got the seat in place, and it is great. It's obviously, a Sparco Sprint is a very small seat, but I'm still pretty comfortable in it, and crucially, it does hold me in place very well when I'm driving around, which is what matters the most. So, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for future episodes every Friday around 8 a.m.